if you please call your next witness. Detective, please come forward. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in the case now on trial be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please have a seat, sir. Once you're seated, you may remove your face cover.
Tell us your name, sir,
Stephen Ballard,
and by whom are you employed?
Knox County Sheriff's Office.
In what capacity?
I work in the Major Crimes Unit.
I want to talk about the year 2016. Were you so employed in that year, sir?
Yes, sir.
And what was your assignment on November the 28th, 2016?
I was a patrol canine officer,
In what region of Knox County were you charged with patrolling?
West Knoxville.
And does that include Golden View Lane?
Yes, sir.
And I want to ask you about that day, sir. Did you have cause to respond to 11434 Golden View Lane here in Knox County?
Yes, sir.
And what was the basis of you responding to that residence?
It was to do a welfare check on Lisa Guy.
Okay. And did you in fact go to that residence?
Yes, sir.
And if you would, tell the members of the jury what you did to accomplish your welfare check once you got to the residence.
The first initial response, I pulled up to the residence. I exited my vehicle. I went to the front door, knocked on the front door, rung the doorbell, didn't get a response. So I went to the, if you're facing the house, I went to the left side of the house. There was a small white 4-foot fence around the backyard. I noticed a dog house in the backyard. I whistled for the dog. Didn't get any response. Looked down, noticed that the gate was locked. At that point, I come back around to the front door of the home, and I knock and ring the doorbell again.
Okay. Did you have cause to notice whether or not the residence was for sale at that time?
There was a for sale sign in the front yard.
And were there vehicles physically in the driveway of the residence?
Yes, sir.
And in the course of your welfare check, did you run those vehicle tags, sir?
I could have possibly run those on my computer. Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you recall whether or not you did that day?
I don't recall.
Okay. So when you go to the door, sir, are you looking in the door or are you just knocking and ringing the doorbell?
No, sir. I'm just knocking and ringing the doorbell. It had been an officer safety issue to be peering in.
When you say an officer safety issue, what are you talking about, sir?
Typically, if I go out to a residence, I don't put my face up to the window to be able to see inside. It's an officer safety issue.
And how long on the initial response did you spend at 11434 Golden View Lane?
I'll say approximately 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Captain Dodd, I'm going to approach and show you what's been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 10 for identification. Can you identify that, sir?
Yes, sir. That's 11434 Golden View.
Does that accurately reflect the residence that you responded to on November 28, 2016?
Yes, sir.
You want to read us some evidence?
Any objection? To the exhibit 10.
So after your initial response, did you have cause to return to that residence?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me back up a little. Where did you go after your first response, after you left the residence?
I went about my daily duties, and I believe that I had actually pulled into a parking lot off a level road before I initially went back out for the second time.
Okay, and do you recall the lapse of time between the first visit and the second?
I'll say approximately an hour to 2 hours.
Okay, and what was the cause to go back a second time?
I had spoke with Detective McCord over the phone. We were discussing a robbery that had taken place on Level Road. I believe it was, the business was the Subway. We briefly spoke about that. Detective McCord asked me what I had found when I went out to the Guy residence. I explained to him that the inside foyer light was on, There were vehicles in the driveway, but I got no response at the door. At that point, Detective McCord told me that he had a little more information and asked if I would go back out to the residence with him.
Okay, and did you in fact go back with Detective McCord?
Yes, sir.
And were any other patrol officers accompanying the two of you?
Yes, sir.
And who were they, sir?
That would have been Jarrett Graves, and I believe it was Sergeant Benjamin Gresham at the time.
Okay, and upon the second arrival, what, if anything, you guys did differently than you did in the first welfare check?
So the second time when we arrived there, the neighbor, if you're facing the Guy residence, the neighbor to the left, her garage door was open. We actually went over, spoke with her briefly just to see if she could tell us when the last time was that she had seen them. Then we go across the street and speak with the neighbors across the street from the Guy residence.
Is this something that you would do on any sort of welfare check when you're investigating further?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and after you get back to the physical residence, do you knock on the door and ring the doorbell again?
Excuse me, Detective Allen, I don't mean to interrupt. So I know we've tried 100 times cases in here, but there's a juror right behind you, and you're kind of standing in front of her, and I don't want her to miss what things. I'm
Forgive me
sorry,
for the
I know
time,
it's
John.
just a habit, but it's a little bit different.
I'll try to stay confined to the podium if I could.
Thank you.
What was the question again, sir?
When you returned to the residence after you canvassed the neighborhood, if you will, what did you go to the back of the residence at any point?
I believe at that point, Sergeant Gresham was on the front porch, and he had pointed out on inside the residence some groceries. You could see if you put your face up to the actual window, you could see groceries sitting inside in the foyer. So myself, Detective McCord, we go around the left side of the house. If you're facing the front of the house, we climb the fence, get into the backyard. We go up onto the porch area. As soon as you get up in front of the door, we noticed the doorknob, one of the doorknobs was missing, and Detective McCord had knelt down to look through that doorknob.
Okay. When you say a doorknob's missing, could you physically see into the residence?
Through the knob, through the doorknob hole, yes.
So where the knob should be?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And based on that, did you have cause to investigate further?
Yes, sir.
And where do you go after the back of the residence? Where do you go next, sir?
So when we start walking back around, there's a back door to the garage that has a doggy door. I had attempted to see if that door was unlocked, and it was not. So then we go back around to the fence where we had crossed, and we climb back over the fence at that point.
Okay. And once you're back in the driveway after being in the backyard, what do you do, sir?
At some point, the garage door opens, and we enter the residence.
Okay. And when you say the garage door opens, is that as a result of law enforcement opening that garage door?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Okay. It wasn't you physically who did it?
No, sir.
And when you enter the residence, if you would describe to the members of the jury what you were seeing and what was going on upon your initial entry.
So the garage door comes up. Detective McCord is in front of me. I'm behind Detective McCord. The other two officers are behind me. As we enter the garage, you can feel an intense heat coming out of the garage area. We go up to the interior garage door, and if you're facing in the garage, the interior garage door would have been to our right. Detective McCord announces Knox County Sheriff's Office, and at that point, he pushes the interior door open. When the interior door comes open, we step into the residence. There's some chemicals setting in the floor as soon as you step in, and then we begin to clear the residence.
Okay, and when you're clearing a residence, describe to the members of the jury what you're trying to achieve, sir.
We're trying to achieve to see if Mr. and Mrs. Guy are okay due to the fact they didn't come to the door. You've got groceries sitting in the floor, and the back doorknob's obviously missing at that point. We continue to go through the residence. As we go through the garage door, you see the chemicals setting in the floor. There's like a short, long hallway to the right, the best I recall, and if you're looking down that hallway, you see a dining room table toward the front of the residence. I can see something at that point lying on the dining room table. We continue through, come down the foyer where the groceries are lying in the floor. I look to my right, I see long guns lying out on the dining room table. At that point, we turn to start up the stairway.
Let me ask you, sir, at this point, do you have your service weapon drawn?
Yes, sir.
And do the other officers with you have their service weapons drawn?
I know Detective McCord did. The other two officers were behind me at that point.
And in terms of what you're perceiving with your senses, can you smell chemicals?
I actually feel a tingling on my forehead from the time that I entered the home. As we continue on and start up the steps, the heat is more intense. It seems to be getting hotter.
Okay. And if you would, describe what, if anything, you observed in the course of going up the steps.
There again, the groceries were in the floor. I noticed the weapons lying out on the dining room table. We start up the steps. We get to a landing where there's a small, like, child gate. Detective McCord sees some blood that he believes to be on the wall at that point. He asks if anyone had gloves on them, and I did have a pair of gloves in my BDU pockets. I pulled those gloves out to put them on so that we could open that gate and go on up to the landing upstairs.
Okay, and to the best of your recollection, if you could describe the layout of the upstairs once you make it to the second floor.
So when you hit the landing, there's a room immediately to your right that turns back kind of behind you. Then there was a room on an angle to my right and another room on an angle to my left with a long hallway.
Okay, and in terms of what you believe to be blood, do you see anything once you get to the top of the stairs?
Yes, sir. When I get to the top of the steps, I believed it to be a human hand or a hand lying at the very end of the hallway.
Okay. And did you go a different way or have cause to go a different way than Detective McCord did initially when you're clearing the residence?
Yes, sir. Detective McCord broke off immediately to the right and kind of behind where I was, and I continued down the hallway.
Okay. And where you think you see hands, do you eventually make it to that room, sir?
Yes, sir.
And do you clear that room?
Yes, sir. Partially. Yes, sir.
And if you would, describe what you see in that room.
I see a human hand. It was lying in an upright position with another human hand that was closed fist behind it.
Okay. And after you make those observations, what do you collectively do as the officers who are clearing the residence?
Detective McCord had seen something in one of the other rooms and requested that we back out at that point. And at that point, we worked our way back out of the residence, and I went, if you were facing their residence, I went to the outside far back right of the residence and held a perimeter till we could get additional officers on scene.
And when you say you held a perimeter, is there any reason why you were continuing to hold a perimeter if you cleared the interior of the residence?
The complete interior of the residence, I don't believe, had been cleared at that point.
Okay, and at any point during the time within the residence at 11434 Golden View, were you alerted as to the presence of a dog anywhere?
Yes, you could hear a dog in one of the rooms faintly barking.
Okay, and where the dog was, is that one of the rooms that you cleared?
No, sir.
Okay. And when you're holding your perimeter back outside, how long do you do that?
How long what, sir?
How long are you holding the perimeter outside?
It seemed like forever. Maybe 15 minutes,
Okay.
10, 15 minutes.
And did you have reason to re-enter the residence that day, sir?
I did not.
Okay. And I want to ask you, sir, are you equipped with a body camera
Yes, sir.
on this date, November 28, 2016?
Yes, sir.
And have you had a chance to review those videos prior to testifying today?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, if we could, we would ask to publish 3 segments of body camera footage from November 28, 2016.
Yeah, Jack. Does it allow that? You may publish it, right?
show you what's been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 11 for identification. Can you identify that disc, sir?
Yes, sir. It's marked with my name on it and being my body camera.
And does it have the date, the same as the day that you responded to 11-434 building view evidence?
Yes, sir, it does.
We knew that in evidence, sir.
It is exhibit 10, or excuse me, 11, you make one.
Thank you, Doc. I'm going to show you first the initial response to the residents.
The LEDs, please.
I may stop you here just to ask questions, but is there a reason why the portion of the front end of the body camera footage is typically muted?
Is there a difference in what, sir?
Is there a reason why the front end of the body camera footage is muted?
My understanding is when you very first turn the camera on, there's a delay in that.
Tell us what you're doing, sir.
This is me arriving at 11-434 Golden View. And at this point, I'm going to approach the front door. K96, 1097.
What are you doing at this point, sir?
I rung the doorbell at this point.
Echo 10. Echo 10. 1098, code D with a complainant. Unit going with K915, I'll take it. 10-4, after 25. Echo 20, 10-4, thank you.
You spoke of vehicles being present in the driveway. Are those the same vehicles that are present?
Yes, sir. This is where I'm going to the side of the residence to try to check the back.
Echo 12. Gonna have a white Dodge driveway. Is there a key holder around? Negative. Echo 12, there may be a Katie Harold. I'll call the alarm company and verify.
What are you doing, sir?
I rung the doorbell again and just waiting to see if I get a response. with if that's the video with Detective McCord, we will climb that fence.
So when you say that the doorknob is missing or absent from the rear door, is that depicted in the screen, sir?
Yes, sir. Detective McCord is actually looking through where the doorknob is missing at this point.
Here's the deal. They said they purchased a house in Johnson City, so hopefully he'll have information on it.
They're saying Robertsville, the neighbors.
And the realtor's saying Johnson City.
Well, it's relatively close, yeah.
You got what? That doggy door? Yeah, there's supposedly a hound dog that runs in there. See, the hound dog's not out, the hound dog's not barking, all their cars are here. Okay.
Yeah. Get how many one of them bricks back over here when you get over? Oops,
Oh, well, yeah.
you alright?
Want to?
No.
Nope.
No, one's good. You hunt. I'm going back off for a minute.
At this point, is this when you make entry into the residence?
Yes, after this takes place, we do make entry into the residence.
Tell us what kind of went on there, sir.
It appears that Officer Graves had went into one of the guy's vehicle. I couldn't tell what he was doing at that point, but the garage door does open.
Hello, Sheriff's Office! There's a dog walking now.
I hear a dog howling.
Knox County Sheriff's Office!
Damn hammer.
Police! Police Department, Sheriff's Office! Knox County Sheriff's Office!
Sheriff's Office!
Those that you observed through the other side of the front door, sir?
Yes, sir.
I got the gun out here.
You got a guy down there?
clear.
Knox County Sheriff's Office! Back everybody out. That's blood, right? Everybody
Looks
got
like it.
that blood or boo-boo?
It looks like blood.
Anybody got gloves on?
Yeah, I'm not supposed to.
Oh, Knox County Sheriff's Office! We're here to check your welfare! And then just drop back. Knox County Sheriff's Office!
I've got one, probably one down here too, Jerry. I'm going right, Benji.
And that's where I noticed the hands at the end of the hallway.
This room's clear.
Hold up. Oh my God.
You good, Jeremy?
Back out.
We got clear. Go. I'm going across. Got you.
Clear, get out.
Clear. This door says where dog is. Knives. Blood. Hands. Is that people's hands? Yeah, I think so. That's what I see. That's what it looks like.
What's your fucking hand? Get out now.
I ain't cleared this. We're not cleared this. There's blood all over it though. You wanna?
Can't, back out. Everybody back out.
We need to start.
No.
A lot of. What you got here?
Everything else already. You don't want to go in. Everything else already. Call Campbell on that. Don't call anybody else. I don't need shit blowing up yet. Call Campbell on that. Back out. Out the garage, same way we came in. Don't touch nothing.
Yes, sir.
I believe that's all we'd like to close from this portion.
The general intention is the rest of that video is in, correct?
It is in there. Not much more speaking on.
Thank you.
The events you testified to today, sir, did they occur here in Knox County?
Yes, sir, it did.
Pass the witness.
Cross-examination.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You said that when you first went out, you did not put your face up to the glass. It's an officer safety issue.
Yes, sir.
Is there a fear of what could be on the other side of the glass, or someone see you peering in and react?
Absolutely.
Okay, okay. Is there a policy as to that, or is that just training, or?
I don't think there's a policy. I believe that's just training.
Okay. But then I think you indicated one of the officers did do that. Is that right?
Yes, sir, after numerous other officers were on the scene.
Okay. And after the door had been knocked on several times,
Yes,
the
sir.
doorbell rung.
Yes, sir.
Now, at the back at the back, after you've jumped the fence and Officer McCord's gone up and looked into the hole, he does not tell you anything about what he sees or experiences.
I don't recall.
Okay,
Did
it's
he
not
do-
on the tape where he says, "Oh, I feel a lot of heat,"
Yeah, I don't recall that he told me that.
and he doesn't say anything on the tape about smelling a chemical smell.
I don't recall him telling me that.
In fact, it looks like after he goes to a side window and looks in, does he say the word nothing?
I believe I heard someone say nothing.
And then when you, was it you who tried the doggy door?
Yes, sir, it was me.
It was locked,
Yes, sir, it was.
but there was no other useful information from the door?
Other than it being locked and no one crawled through it.
Okay. Now, the inside garage door, was that after the big car door opened, the inside door, that was closed, appeared to be closed?
It
when
was
you-
pulled to, yes, sir.
Okay. And Detective McCord either pushed it open or opened the, do you know which?
Yeah, I just know he pushed the door open, sir.
Okay. And you only went in the house the one time?
Yes, sir.
And it turned out there was not a suspect or anyone alive in the house?
No, no, sir.
Now, you said you talked to neighbors and someone saw a light on at 6:30, a bathroom light?
Yes, sir.
1 second, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Just very briefly, Mr. Halsted asked you that it turns out there was no suspects in the house. Let me ask you, back on November 28th, 2016, did you know whether or not anyone was in the rooms that you hadn't cleared?
No, sir, I had no idea.
Anything else, Mr. Halsted? Thank you, Detective. You may step down. Next witness.
Are we called Sandy Campbell?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in the case now on trial be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may have a seat, officer, and once you're seated, you may remove your mask. Please speak in the microphone.
May we approach her briefly?
Whenever you're ready, maybe.
What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Officer Sandy Campbell,
By whom you employed?
Knox County Sheriff's Office.
In what capacity?
I'm currently assigned to the Forensic Services Unit.
And how long you've been employed at the Sheriff's Department?
Almost 9 years.
And has, in the course of your 9 years, in the course of your employment, have you exclusively been in the forensic unit?
No, I've been in the Forensic Unit for almost 7.
Okay. And tell us what, if any, training you've received as it has to do with forensics, particularly processing crime scenes.
Probably the most comprehensive training that I've received is attendance at the National Forensics Academy, which is a 10-week course recognized kind of worldwide as the standard, the gold standard of forensic services technician training.
Okay, and what are some of the things that, training that you undergo at the National Forensics Institute?
We do many different kinds of things, ballistics, insofar as like shooting reconstruction specifically, and blood pattern analysis. We do just crime scene management in general, different ways of processing for latent fingerprint, lots and lots of stuff.
Okay. And when we're dealing with crime scenes in particular, and crime scene management, as you put it, what are the types of things that you're doing on a crime scene in terms of physical evidence?
So specifically, my job consists of documenting, collecting, and preserving any sort of physical evidence that we find on a scene.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to speak up just a little bit, just because
Okay.
we have jurors in the way back
Okay.
here.
Get that microphone a little closer.
Okay.
Okay, and when you say processing and documenting, do you do that through the use of video?
Yes, video and just a digital camera as well, photographs.
And did you do a crime scene video in this case?
I did.
And Your Honor, if I could, I would late file Exhibit 12, I believe, and I'd ask to publish that.
Be fine. Folks, Exhibit 12 is currently in electronic form, so we're gonna go ahead and show it to you. By the end of the day, we'll actually have it on a hard disk to have with you during deliberations, but you may follow.
Thank you. And before I publish, kind of tell us why you became involved with this case when you responded.
My supervisor at the time was Captain Brad Park, and he called me on the phone and said, come over here to this address. We've got a huge scene, so.
And do you recall what day that was?
It was the 28th of November,
And what year?
2016.
Okay. And you did state you, in fact, did do a video of the crime scene?
I did.
And did you take pictures of the crime scene?
I did.
And did you collect physical evidence?
I did.
And talk to us a little bit about the practices and procedures that you use when you collect physical evidence.
There's a lot of glove changing, so there's not cross-contamination with DNA. And we preserve things in paper bags rather than plastic, because plastic over time can kind of degrade the evidence if there's biological material on it on the inside of the bag. So we're going to use paper bags so that air can help keep microbial growth at a minimum.
Okay. And once you get a piece of physical evidence, do you seal that piece of evidence?
We do. We seal it along edges with evidence tape that's then signed and dated.
And where is the physical evidence stored?
I'm sorry?
Where's the physical evidence stored?
We have it stored in the Forensic Services lab, which is downstairs in this building, and it's locked in the lab and then additionally locked in these cages that you see in the back of the room. We refer to them as cages.
And do you use evidence placards?
We do, yes.
And can you describe to the members of the jury the significance of those?
So initially when we do a walkthrough in a scene, we're trying to identify obvious items of evidence. So sometimes not everything gets marked on the initial walkthrough because we don't recognize its importance at the time. So when that happens, when we do that initial walkthrough, we do mark with a plastic evidence placard the items that we consider to be of possible evidentiary value at that point. So when you see pictures, you will see evidence placards kind of throughout, and that's what they're being used to mark the significance, so then we can tell later like spatial relationships if it turns to matter more.
Okay. Is that typically something you do after your initial walkthrough of a crime scene?
Yes, because the initial walkthrough is kind of what do we have, like what appears to be most important in the very beginning.
Okay, so the video, would that be absent evidence placards at that
It
point?
would be, yes. This video is like the first kind of like official walkthrough from the Forensic Services unit, so we have some sort of idea of what matters.
Yeah, at this point, we can publish that video.
LEDs, please.
As you can see from the crime scene tape, it's very windy, and that's going to matter in just a minute in the video. Just that it's very windy that day, so in the video, in just a moment, you're going to see why that matters, because this is something that we would not normally do on a scene that's about to happen. That would probably be, yeah. Because that way I can kind of explain what we're coming to as we come to it. So again, it's really windy. And this is just like approaching the garage. And this evidence marker is on its side to mark this piece of evidence, and it's so windy it blows it over. And so I'm using my gloved hand to grab it and put it within, like inside the garage, to keep it from blowing away again. So this is approaching through the garage. Into a sort of eat-in kitchen area. So table in the eat-in kitchen. Random items in the kitchen floor. And then this is the kitchen proper. So it's important to note here that the stovetop is on in this large stock pot.
At this point, do you have any knowledge of anything being inside the stock pot?
No. So this is continuing kind of to the other side of the kitchen counter. And then on into the formal dining room area of the residence. So this is, I'm stepping into the foyer of the residence. This is the front door, and it faces the street. And here I'm noting that the heating unit for the house, for the downstairs of the house, is set to 90 degrees, and it was very, very warm in there. And that's the front door and some miscellaneous groceries that are sitting in the floor.
Let me ask you whether or not there was perishables in those groceries.
There were. So this is just a half bath that's in the downstairs. So this is the living room downstairs in the residence. And you can see on this side it's open to the eat-in kitchen. This is the back door, and you'll note it's missing a doorknob. I don't believe this one was on. So off the living room here is this kind of little office area. So that's what that next doorway is. So this is back through the foyer. So there's some reddish brown staining right here, and we refer to things that we believe to be blood as reddish brown staining in forensics before they're tested and confirmed by a lab to be blood. So if you hear us refer to RBS or reddish brown staining, that's what that is. So here's more RBS down the side of the wall, and here at this gate, and on the banister as well. So this is just the landing at the top of the stairs, just kind of a small, almost foyer type area. There's more of that reddish brown staining on the wall. And this is the master bedroom of the residence. probably had to turn the volume of the video down so that you could hear me speak while I describe it. But the sound in the video changes at this point. There's a loud noise in here because there's a heater on and blowing within the room. Yes. You can see the bag moving right there in the breeze being put off from the heater. It was turned on I think at the highest setting it could go. This is one of my coworkers who's also on scene with me. So this is the heater that was on. Yes, it is set to the number 3 setting, which is presumably the highest fan setting on it, like a fan. And this is going into the master bathroom. So what you're seeing here is plastic sheeting that's on the ground in 2 large Rubbermaid type tubs. And this is a shower with a hose attached to the top attachment. The shower head has been removed and a hose has been put there instead, like a garden hose type of thing.
In your own words, I know it may be difficult, but if you could describe to members of the jury what you observed in the 2 tubs.
It was liquid with pieces of human body in it, in each of them. Both tubs had body parts in them and they were kind of bulging on the sides. There is a heater in the bathroom. At this time, it's not on. But the master bedroom area of the house was definitely the warmest part of the house. And the upstairs was even warmer than the downstairs of the house. So, to the best of my recollection, the only heater that's on besides the central heat and air units is the one here in the master bedroom. See, this is the heater I was talking about that's in the master bedroom, but it's turned off right now. It's unplugged. So this is a set of like dishwashing gloves that are turned inside out on the counter there. This is the rest of the hose. This is back through the master bedroom. This is just the closet in the one of the closets in the master bedroom. Now we're walking back into the upstairs foyer. And now we're going into the guest bedroom. There's more reddish brown staining in the floor. A suitcase here. These are tops to blue Rubbermaid containers that were similar, if not the same ones, for the ones in the master bath. So these are the lids. And there's a bunch of textbooks here and some medication. This is a dresser. There's like a box of bullets there, box of gloves that's been opened, a container of hydrogen peroxide. It's food grade hydrogen peroxide with some reddish brown staining on it. And here on the other side of the bed is a backpack. And then moving towards the bed. There's some reddish brown staining on the bed. And a laptop computer. This is back out into the foyer. And this is the upstairs temperature control. And it's at 95 degrees at this point. So this is kind of across the hallway from the guest room is a room that I think we refer to in our notes as a storage room. There's more reddish brown staining on the door frame of that room. So we're coming back out into the hallway at this point. And there's a bathroom on the right, a laundry room on the left, and straight ahead is kind of a bonus exercise room kind of thing. It's over the garage of the residence. So this is the hall bathroom. It's a pile of clothes and towel on the floor. Right here in the corner, what we're trying to show is that there's a pile of, looks like used medical tape and bandage type stuff. So there's a lot of stuff on top of the vanity and a lot of reddish brown staining. So this is across the hallway into the laundry room. And this is back to the room above the garage. Looks like it's set up as an exercise room slash possible guest room. It's a pile of clothes with staining and a couple of knives. This is a large amount of reddish brown staining, and right back here at where this overturned Bowflex is. Wait till we get back to it. Right here was a set of what appeared to be male human hands that were severed from any other part of. They were just the hands. So more reddish brown staining on the door of this closet in this room. So these blinds are torn or broken. And this large amount of staining here in the corner.
And you took pictures as well?
Yes, I took some of the photos on the scene.
And why do you take pictures as well as take the crime scene video?
So initially, is we just really want you all as the jury to be able to see like the relationship and space of what it's like when you're walking into there. So that's why we start with the video, and then usually when one person is shooting the video, the next people are coming in and doing the same thing, but just with photographs with no evidence markers in place. And then we set evidence markers in place and then come back through with another time and take more photos.
Mayor Pro Tem? Your Honor, just for the record, I have not marked these numerically yet. If there's 320 collectively, so whatever number we're on, I'll come back and mark them. And hand you
How many did you say there were? 320?
320, Your Honor. That number range, Your Honor.
Oh, it's 12 through 331.
Okay. I'm gonna hand you, it's gonna be marked exhibits.
What? 13. Oh, I missed one. Yeah. 332. Yeah, that's right. 332.
So exhibits 13 through 332. If you could kind of thumb through those and not individually, but tell us kind of what we're looking at.
these are the crime scene photos I took after placards were in place. And as you recall, at the beginning when I was explaining how we use placards, is that we put them in place with what we believe to be items that we believe to be of evidentiary value. Sometimes more items become apparent as we've gone through the scene. So keep that in mind, and I'll try to explain that as we get to it if I find things that did not get marked in the photos that I took.
At this point, we moved exhibits 13 through 332.
Any objection?
I don't believe so, but I can't say. I know we've gone over the pictures. I don't know what each of those 320 are, but I know we've set guidelines, so I assume that they are within what we had agreed
Subject to
to.
our previous orders.
Yes. They are. They do comply with the order.
Very good.
This is the trash in the kitchen.
Are you gonna publish all these?
And
All right, we're gonna take a break. All right, folks, before we get to these photographs, let's go ahead and take a recess, about 10 minutes, stretch your legs. Again, do not assess the case for yourself or anyone else. You can leave it up with your chairs to go to officers. Does the state waive the call, jury? Defense waive the call? Welcome back, folks. We're ready to resume Officer Campbell's direct testimony. You're getting ready to see a whole lot of pictures. As you recall, when I told you when we receive an item into evidence, it is something that you're going to have with you in the jury room during deliberation. So you're going to have all these photographs. You'll get a look at them in a lot more detail. Since there's a large number, I suspect we're getting ready to go through these really quickly. And you may be thinking, oh, I wish you could go back and see that. Well, you'll have a chance to go back and see that all you want to during deliberations, because we're going to go through these pretty quickly. Officer, you understand you are still on oath?
Yes, sir.
You may resume your direct examination.
Okay, this is a picture, the exterior of the residence, right here at the garage door, and you remember that placard, that piece of evidence that was blowing in the breeze in the beginning of the video? It's here in this corner by the front tire of that bicycle. It's marked as evidence marker A.
Okay. Next photo.
You can see it's got some reddish brown staining on it. It's a little piece of paper towel. So this is going into the garage proper. It's the medical examiner and a death investigator. So my scale on the ground right here is marking what appears to be a bloody shoe print or reddish brown staining.
General, if you would pause right there. Let's see my styles this year. I was going to have a word. My stylist has walked away and not this much.
I have a laser on it, I'm not sure how it
Well, either way, also this is a touch screen.
Oh,
If
okay.
you want to mark anything with your finger, you can. We'll just get it clear on what you do.
Okay.
You may want to preserve any mark.
No approach of the laser.
Yeah, you'll show that. All right, you may resume.
Next photo.
So this is just a closer up picture of the same fragment. Again. 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 Yeah, so going into the kitchen, the eat-in dining room table, the table in the eating kitchen. Evidence marker B is 2 wallets and a set of keys. It's going to kind of do overalls of the room first. So stuff here on the floor, stuff on the counters, all marked.
And what you're stating is all the placards have a significance, or what you believe
Correct.
to be a piece of
Yes. Yes.
evidence. And the green box, did you have a chance to document what that was?
Yeah, I think there's a closer up picture of it later. I'm not sure if it's in this pile of photos, but it's a box that's marketed as containing something that's marketed as a bleach sprayer.
Going forward.
So this is back at the table. So again, B is the 2 wallets and the set of keys.
And did you have a chance to document whose driver's license was in the red wallet?
The red wallet driver's license is Lisa Guy. So item C, we use the tool. So the vice grips here and the hammer are marker C. And we ended up including the money in marker D just because it was going to be easier to keep more like things together. So D is the magazine and the purse and the money. So this is a bag of trash and some towels, and like I don't remember exactly how we broke it up. I'm not sure if you guys are going to get a list of the evidence, but bleach sprayer, bag of trash, towels, some rolls of trash bags, 3 containers of bleach, a bottle of muriatic acid, and a unopened thing of baking soda. There's also a lighter there.
Moving on into the kitchen.
So this is moving on into the kitchen. G is a cell phone. H is the stock pot. So I is the contents of the sink, which is what appears to be a doorknob and a realtor's lock in some sort of fluid. We're not sure exactly at this point what it is. So this is the other side of the sink, and item J and K.
And what does evidence placard J?
I believe J is there's a set of gloves there, like disposable blue medical type gloves.
And evidence placard K?
I believe K is that empty pill bottle. Let me verify, bear with me. It is that empty prescription bottle.
When you were documenting this crime scene, were there any pills left in evidence marker K, the pill bottle?
No, that pill bottle was empty.
And did you have cause to look as to who it was prescribed to?
It was, I think there's a picture of it that'll show specifically. I think it is to Joel M. Guy.
Moving into the
So
dining
this,
room?
into the dining room, and this is, in this photo you can see just guns and boxes of ammunition were marked. So item W there that's marked as W is part of a doorknob and some, like the interior workings of the doorknob and a screwdriver. So going into the foyer, we marked the groceries that had been brought in. It was just a large amount, so we were going to count multiple items under each evidence placard. So there's some bacon and some sausage and some lunch meat, and all of these things were warm. They were no longer cold. Dog treats, carpet cleaner. So this was some ice cream. It's some Ben and Jerry's and then some Mayfield brown cows, and they were completely melted. Like they weren't cold at all anymore. Dog food. So this is back towards at the top of the stairs. So the upstairs evidence placards have an arrow pointing up to show that that is representing it's the upstairs of the house. So we've started over with the alphabet, but now there's a arrow indicating that it's the upstairs.
In this group of placards, A, B, C, D, and E,
Yes.
what is that?
This is all the stuff that was kind of at the top of the stairs in that kind of foyer area. So A, I believe we broke down into, it was 2 black Nike tennis shoes with some staining, and that cast iron. We also considered item A to be that pile of clothing there that all had been cut.
B?
Let's see. B is an empty bottle of crystal drain opener that says lye 100%. 1 empty number 2 sewer line cleaner. It was a 6 pounds, 8 ounce container of it.
And evidence marker C?
C is a stainless steel kitchen knife, so you can't really see it very well in this picture, but there's another picture of it in a moment.
And evidence marker D?
D is more empty containers of this 6 pound, 8 ounce number 2 sewer line cleaner.
And are these empty or are they
Yes,
full?
yes, all of these chemical component containers are empty. So
Okay.
you can
And-
see right there on that close-up of C that there's part of a knife there. So it's underneath some other stuff, but
Oh, okay. Would that be what you're describing?
yes.
Okay, evidence marker E?
E is the scissors. It's kind of, yeah.
Okay, moving into master bedroom?
Yes, in the master bedroom. This is a large amount of items kind of in the floor piled up there, so we divided them the best we could. So there's multiple items under each letter, every number placard.
Evidence marker F?
F, I believe, it says 2 trash bags, 2 black trash bags.
Okay. And evidence marker G?
G, we have as 1 empty Clorox glove packaging and 1 gray bag. So that gray bag right there.
And evidence marker H?
H is this Walmart bag right there containing, I believe it's Walmart bag, containing starter gray workout pants, gray long sleeve t-shirt, and 2 pairs of gray socks.
Okay, evidence marker I?
I is a 3M dust mask and Irwin vice grip tag And it's also one unopened gallon jug of liquid fire is the brand of drain line opener.
Okay. And evidence marker J.
J has a lot of stuff in it. It's got it's Flex-On hose packaging, HDX extension cord, Sharpie markers, safety goggles, a Defiant heavy-duty timer, Delta shower head, Irwin vice grip, a Home Depot bag with HDX extension cord, a piece of plastic packaging.
And evidence marker K.
K is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, unopened Pure Health Discounts certified 35 food grade hydrogen peroxide. And then also under evidence marker K, we collected 2 glass dropper bottles.
That better depict. Okay. Evidence marker L.
L is it's a large roll of clear plastic and it's packaging as well that it came in.
That plastic that you describe, is that consistent with what's in the master bathroom?
I can say that it appears to be cut. It doesn't appear to have come from the manufacturer with the jagged edge. And the bathroom floor is also lined with a piece of plastic that appears to be cut.
Evidence marker M.
M is a Nova mountable heater, a Bayco work light, a glass blender pitcher.
Evidence marker N.
N is 7 Thai brand Beanie Babies and 1 Clifford stuffed dog.
Evidence marker O.
O is 1 Eastwig 3-pound hammer, a flashlight, a Home Depot bag, a Bayco work light, clear packaging, and 2 glass dropper bottles.
Evidence marker P.
P is a Defiant heavy-duty timer, GE light bulbs, Zep empty sprayer bottle, and 1 Walmart bag. And there's also a Breville blender base.
Evidence marker Q.
Q is 2 Post-it notes with handwriting on them.
Evidence marker R.
R is the plastic sheeting that's in the floor of the master bath.
Okay. Evidence marker S.
S is a sprayer handle, a bristled brush head, torn hose packaging, 1 plastic washer, and 3 pieces of white packaging straps. And it's also 1 green hose.
Evidence marker T.
T is a Emerald brand kitchen knife.
Is that better depicted in this picture?
Yes.
Evidence marker U.
U is those gloves. They're like the kitchen dishwashing gloves, the kind of thick ones.
Evidence marker V.
V is 1 box of Hornady Critical Defense buckshot 12 gauge 8 pellet ammunition. Let
me back up there, excuse me. Evidence marker W.
So W is an open box of VWR size medium nitrile gloves. So just standard kind of medical type gloves.
Evidence marker Y.
I think Y is that laptop computer.
I want to ask you what evidence marker looks like a small b and a big B.
Yeah, so
accompanied
what
by-
happened is we ran out of the alphabet, so we had to start over, so we've doubled the letters, so A, B, B, C, C, kind of moving forward. So, B, I believe is the, I think we just took the sheets and everything. It's, yeah, we took the, flat sheet, the pillowcase, the fitted sheets. There's a towel on the bed that has some staining on it. We took that. And then the comforter. So it's all the bedding.
Okay. Evidence marker double C.
Double C are the prescription bottles there on the shelf right below. And there's 4 of them for, some are for Joel M. Guy, and one of them is for Lisa Guy.
Evidence marker double A.
Double A is an unopened package of Clorox brand gloves and 2 plastic Walmart bag. It's at least a Walmart bag with a Baco work light in it as well.
Okay. Now returning to X.
X is an open container of the Pure Health Discount certified 35 food grade hydrogen peroxide.
I want to ask you about these cards. Did you collect these cards in the course of collecting physical evidence?
Let me see. Yes, we did.
And who
We
are
did.
those cards?
They are, the name on the cards is Joel M. Guy.
And evidence marker Z.
Z is that glove that's
Okay.
laying there. I believe it's just one.
And what is this? What is this prescription for?
This one is for tramadol.
And the address on the bottles?
All of them have the address of Golden View Lane.
Okay. Evidence marker double D there.
It is a Miracle Blade 3 knife.
Evidence marker double E.
Double E is 2 gray Under Armour, 2 gray Banana Republic underwear, and 2 white t-shirts.
Evidence marker double N.
Double N is the shower curtain. We ended up taking it because it had some staining on it.
Double I.
Double I is a set of keys. It has 7 keys and a Kia car fob and a cell phone, Samsung Galaxy S5.
Double J.
Double J is 1 bottle of hydrogen peroxide. It's a 16-ounce bottle.
Double K.
Double K is 1 blue round brush, several pieces of toilet paper with staining, and Renew saline contact case, medical tape packaging, Aveeno lotion, 2 Ziploc bags, multiple blue disposable gloves, Charmin wet wipes, and multiple pieces of medical tape.
Double F.
Double F is a drinking glass.
Double G.
Double G is 1 plastic Walmart bag with red skin potato salad and some Bactrin zinc ointment, 1 sock containing 1 receipt, 1 $5 bill, 1 $1 bill, 3 quarters, 4 pennies, 1 cardboard center first aid tape, a first aid tape, and a round piece of paper.
Double H.
Double H is 1 knife marked USMC and 6 spacers.
And when you say spacers, are those components of that knife?
Yes.
Is this the receipt that you physically collected?
Yes.
And what is the date on that receipt?
It is 11/26.
And the time on that receipt?
I think it says 15/25.
And the physical address on that receipt?
It's the Walmart at 10900 Parkside Drive in Knoxville. 15:35 was the time on the receipt.
And for those of us not familiar with military time, 15:35 would translate to what?
3:35 in the afternoon.
Double L is in the back.
All right, for double L, we have 2 bottles of 91% isopropyl alcohol. They're 16-ounce bottles. We have 1 roll of first aid tape, Equate triple antibiotic, Dermaplast pain relieving antibacterial spray, and another bottle of 91% isopropyl rubbing alcohol. This one is a 32-ounce bottle.
Double M.
Double M is that first aid tape there in the corner.
I believe we covered double N.
Yes,
Shower
it is
curtain.
the shower curtain.
Double O.
Double O is the trash can, the entire bag. We took the entire bag because we wanted the contents as well.
Double P.
Double P is 1 gray fleece blanket, a brown fleece blanket, 2 white washcloths, 1 sock, and 2 pair of gray Banana Republic underwear.
Are those consistent with the 2 pair of Banana Republic underwear from the guest bathroom?
Yes.
Say double T.
Double T is one Vitronics kitchen knife.
Double S.
Double S is one stainless steel kitchen knife.
Double R.
Double R is one camouflage UT hat.
Double Q.
Double Q is 2 white and blue Nike tennis shoes, 1 pack of Marlboro Lights, 1 Clippers, and 1 Blistex.
And double U.
There's more to double Q, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Jeans with a belt that have been cut, 1 black knee brace, 1 Hanes underwear, 2 socks, and 1 handkerchief. And also in double Q is 1 brown cut t-shirt, 1 camouflage cut hoodie, and 1 Tennessee sweatshirt that's also been cut.
Okay. And double U.
W is 1 white hand towel.
Like double V.
Double V is the comforter and the sheet, and then there's a white towel and a white trash bag on that bed. So all of those things we collected as well.
And did you notice any defects on the comforter?
Yes, if you'll, I think in the pictures it'll show soon. So there's this tear in the comforter, and you'll have noticed in the picture prior to this there was some fluff in the floor. So this is back downstairs, and I know that because this evidence marker E does not have the arrow. So this is the bag of trash that was in the kitchen floor. You remember that big pile of stuff that was down there as soon as you kind of walked in, right there in the eat-in kitchen part of the kitchen. Okay. Under those towels was this bag of trash. So this is the contents of that bag of trash.
And within the bag, are those latex gloves?
They are.
Are those consistent with the gloves that are upstairs?
Yeah, they appear to be the same kind. So this is back in the guest bedroom. This is one of those items that did not get initially marked as evidence. So it didn't have a placard in the beginning of the pictures. And this is the suitcase that was in the floor in the guest bedroom, right in front of the bookcase. You'll remember from the video it was open. So this is that suitcase.
What are we looking at?
This is a Post-it note that was in one of the zippered compartments of the suitcase.
Okay.
What are we looking at, ma'am?
This is a handwritten Post-it note that says Dan Bedreau's Ace Hardware at 4767 Highway 1, Napoleon, Louisiana, 70390. It says Roto 6.5 pound sewer line cleaner, and then it says $19.99. So this is the rest of the suitcase back open.
In the underwear depicted in this picture, are those consistent
It's
with?
another set of the Banana Republic underwear.
And just to clarify, the underwear, they're located in the guest bathroom as well as in the laundry room.
Correct.
What are we looking at?
This is a knife sheath, and the sheath itself is stamped with USMC.
You also asked to document the physical clothing that was taken from the residence at 11434 Golden View Lane.
Yes, so the piles of clothing that we had to really kind of stick everything in one, yes, I did photograph that in a separate manner in the forensics lab here.
And tell the members of the jury what you had to do to kind of make it a cohesive piece of clothing, if you will, or make sense of how it was left.
So you remember in the description, the clothing was all described as cut in one way or another. So typically speaking, when I'm going to photograph something like that, that has been cut, I want to kind of put it back together and then show the lines of where it's been cut. And the way that I do that is with orange evidence placards go underneath the cuts so that when everything is put back together, you can see where it was cut and how it used to be whole. So, like how it was cut open.
Okay, and where did you do that? Where did you actually take these pictures?
I took these pictures in the forensics lab
Okay.
downstairs here in this building.
Let me approach now. This is going to be 15 additional exhibits. I believe you left off on
333, 347.
I'm going to approach with what's going to be marked as exhibits 333 to 347.
Yes, sir.
And if you could go through those and tell us what they are.
So these are pictures of, I can't remember what the evidence marker number was, but it's the pictures of the pile of women's clothes at the top of the stairs and the pile of men's clothes that were in the kind of bonus workout room above the garage.
Are those a fair and accurate copy of what you provided
Yes.
to us? And we've moved these in as states exhibits 333 through 347.
The exhibits 333 through 347. You may publish.
Again, directing your attention to the screen, you can show us or tell us what exhibit 333 is.
So this is a pair of women's jeans, and they're cut from the top all the way to the bottom on the back aspect of the jeans. So this is the front aspect of the jeans. There's some staining, but no cuts. So this is a woman's bra that has been cut and also has some staining. This is a pair of women's underwear that also from the back aspect has been cut. This is a woman's tank top that has been also cut and has multiple cuts all within the back aspect. This is just kind of a closer up picture of the different kinds of cuts. this is another part of it showing it kind of open. That's how I know it's the back, because this is the inside. So this is a woman's sweater.
And would this be the front or the back?
I believe this one is the front, and it has all the staining. The sleeves are inside out, though, so it is sitting there weirdly, but it's mostly inside out.
And direct your attention to is this a defect similar in nature to the previous photos?
Yes, that's more just kind of cut marks in the sweater.
Next photo.
So this is the rear aspect of the sweater, and what I'm trying to do here is kind of piece it together the best that I can to show that it has not only been cut, but then also has like holes in it as well.
Next photo.
So this is a pair of men's jeans, and I'm not sure if you can see, like right in here and right in here and also right in here are places where where there's cuts on them.
We'll have to clear this.
I'm sorry.
Top right corner, if you click on that arrow, the green arrow at the top right. See what I'm talking about?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Oh, that
So
one.
you click
Oh.
on that, it brings your menu up.
Oh, and then
then
clear
you
it.
can change whatever you're gonna mark it, but hit
Okay,
clear
excellent.
to clear.
Okay, thank you.
Next photo.
So there's more of the kind of cut. This is the back aspect of those jeans. So this is a man's t-shirt that has cuts along the front aspect. This is cut from top to bottom, or bottom to top. I'm not sure of the order, but
And if you would, if you'd circle those cuts on this shirt.
circle the cut. So what I'm talking about is through here being cut, and then there's also marks here, 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 here.
Next photo.
So this is the back aspect of that same shirt.
And is there a cut mark?
There is, and so it's dried kind of crinkly, so it doesn't really want to lay flat, and I don't want to stretch it. So it's right in there is the cut, and I think I'm not sure if there's a closer up picture of it or not in this series.
Next photo.
No. So this is a man's camouflage sweatshirt or like kind of jacket, and then underneath it, still attached, is a University of Tennessee sweatshirt, and they both have cuts in them, and the sweatshirt is cut, the jacket, I believe, had a zipper front closure, but I've used different colors on this to show, because I didn't want to take them apart, because I wanted to show that they were still together. So on this one, what you're seeing in this picture is going to be the green of the jacket cuts. So right here, and right here, I think are the main ones that are visible on this aspect. And this is the back aspect of the whole sweatshirt and jacket together.
Thank you. All right, we'll pass it.
All right, lights please, cross-examination.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So you explained at the beginning a little bit of collecting physical evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like a lot of effort goes into not contaminating the evidence, correct?
Yes.
So tell us again, you use gloves, right?
Yes.
And what else do you do?
There's a lot of glove changing in
Okay.
between different items of evidence.
Okay.
So we often will wear like a base layer, because once your hands get sweaty, you can't put another pair on. So we wear a base layer and then exchange the exterior gloves
Okay.
very often.
And then you, as we see, you do a crime scene video of
Mhm.
it, and then photograph without the placards, correct?
Correct.
and then photograph with the placards.
Correct.
Okay. So once the evidence is collected, you said you bag it in the plastic bags, and that keeps it less contaminated?
No, we bag it in paper
Yeah,
because
I
plastic.
meant paper, I said plastic.
That's okay. Yes,
Um,
it is.
And that way, if the plastic corrodes or whatever, it doesn't affect the,
Right. So often with plastic, mold will grow because air can't get in there to allow wet material to dry.
and then when it gets back to the lab to be tested, or what happens when it gets back to the lab?
So when it comes back to the lab, it's entered into our system, our evidence system, and it is sealed and dated and sealed in the paper bags.
Is it further examined at the before
It depends
that?
on the item of evidence. Sometimes it is like further documented right then. Sometimes it's further documented later as the need arises.
Okay. Now, we've been given access to something called the PMI evidence tracker. Is that what you mean? It gets logged in?
Yes.
And so, now, we saw, I think, the suitcase, that was actually opened at the scene, right?
It was initially opened at the scene, yes.
Okay. And that's where, like, the Dan Boudreau note was found at the scene?
Correct.
Okay, and so was the sheath to the USMC knife?
Correct.
Okay. If I could have one moment.
Yes, sir.
That's all, Your Honor.